taxes. And every time we try we best to get to the top, they always put in front of us their stumbling block. So let's wage war, Lord, Lord. Let's wage war, oh God. Show me the way out of the budgetary aid, so we can have some say in our own affairs. Critical decisions, Lord. We have no say in our people complaining. They have our leaders going through the motion. So before it's too late, we must put something in place so we can attract foreign investors back in Montserrat, Lord. We need the money in the homeland. So let's wage war on that wicked system that is designed to keep this island down. Let's wage war on them terrorist act. Practice like that, keep Montserrat back. They're terrorizing we with high prices, small salaries, and heavy taxes. And every time we try we best to get to the top, they always put in front of us their stumbling block. So let's wage war, Lord, Lord. Let's wage war, oh God. And boy, and boy, and boy.
Hello. Good night. Good night. Good night, St. Peter's. Good night, PDM people. Let me hear the horn. All right, all right, all right. Wake up, St. Peter's. Mars Hill could hear us. Japan can hear us. Virgin Islands can hear us. So we're going to start with a word of prayer first, always. Absolute silence. Absolute silence. Dear God, we thank you for seeing another night. May the words of our mouth and the meditation of our hearts be acceptable in everything that we say and do tonight. For Christ's sake, amen. Good night again. Welcome to another PDM meeting, everybody. Thanks for coming out. And I'm hoping that you'll come out again on Saturday evening in Kojo Head, same time. Bring the forces out, bring your friends out, bring the people out to have a meeting. We're going to have a dynamic meeting on Saturday evening in Kojo Head. Now, our first speaker, we're going to be quick tonight because it's the middle of the week. Our first speaker is a dynamic speaker. She is president of the civil service, a woman with integrity and a woman who can stand up and represent people in Montserrat. And I'm going to invite to the podium our first opening batswoman, Naota Mya. Come forward.
Wow. Yeah. Shorty. Yeah. This one goes out to all my women, you know, my strong women. So amazing how this world was made. I wonder if God is a woman. The gift of life astounds me to this day. I give it up for the woman. She's the constant wind that fills my sail. Oh, that woman. With a smile and a star, she'll protect you like a child. That's a woman. She'll put a smile upon her face and take you to the higher place. So don't you underestimate the strength of a woman. Strength of a woman.
Good night. Don't ever underestimate the strength of this woman. Fellow Montserratians, residents, citizens, residents of Montserrat, and the entire St. Peter's community, good evening once again. Good evening. How is everyone tonight, the PDM family? Everybody's good? Nice. Welcome again. Good to see everybody out tonight at our meeting. I am Naota Mya, your humble and committed servant. So we're in St. Peter's tonight, the home of one of Montserrat's longest-serving politicians, my family, John Alfred Osborne, who served Montserrat as Chief Minister for many years. So I take this moment to briefly honor and reflect on his service and contribution to the people of Montserrat. Back then, he used to say, let the good times roll. And it certainly did roll. For the last 5 years, Montserrat has faced great hardships. And I'm saying to you now, the People's Democratic Movement, PDM, is more than ready to let the good times roll again. position, first, you have to love the people. Am I right? Second, you must be ready to serve the people. Am I right? Third, you must be really ready to hear the problems of the people, because that is the only way you're going to be ready to serve you, the people of Montserrat. Ladies and gentlemen, the PDM team has the right set of candidates who has the love for the people, who are ready to serve you, the people, and who have been listening over the years to allow the good times to roll again. Don't you agree with me? Right. Therefore, the People's Democratic Movement, PDM, will provide regular salary increases for public servants and the pensioners. Yes? We are giving 3 months tax-free salary to private sector workers. Increase the tax-free threshold to $24,000 to benefit all the hard workers of Montserrat. We intend to also give back to school food vouchers so that parents can send their children to school. Yes, so that our children can have a good education. We also will ensure that all pensioners and elderly persons who are receiving less than $900 per month will now receive $900. Additionally, the PDM team will advocate to ensure that this $900 goes up to $1,400 per month as the minimum, because our pensioners and our elderly persons deserve it to live comfortable lives. We will also implement a cost of living allowance to increase the financial ability of workers and put more money in your pockets, my people. We also need our population rebuilt, so then and therefore, our CARICOM nationals, we're going to be removing. What we're going to be removing? I like that response. I like that response. I love it. We're going to remove them. But we're going to remove the payment of work permits so you can live better lives. So this fee definitely has to go. We'll also be reducing the taxes on clothes, shoes, vehicular parts, and on construction goods, so that person could live better lives in Montserrat and be able to maintain their houses, to build houses. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not promises. This would be the action of the PDM government. That is correct. Certainly that too. This period, I will ensure that it gets done, and it will be done to make Montserrat great again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you check what has been happening around the world for years, a country and its people are only successful when a Labour Party is in power. And PDM is your Labour Party. So on the 24th of October, vote Naota Mya and the People's Democratic Movement, PDM, to make the good times roll again. So what are we going to say? We're going to say MCAP no, PDM yes, UA no, PDM, yes. Again, MCAP, no. PDM, yes. UA, no. PDM, yes. What we say, what we say, what we say, what we say?
Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. For economic growth. PDM have our vote. It's no secret. PDM has the best candidates. Good governance, accountability, strong leadership and transparency. PDM is the party.
What we say?
Fighting for everybody.
Thank you.
The strength of a woman. Yeah. Thank you, Naota Mya. The next batsman we have coming up is none other than our dear friend, I call him Benji. And Eustace is his right name. But everybody knows him as Benji. Right? And he was a policeman for years in Montserrat, has done an extensive amount of work doing security work in the UK, back in Montserrat, worked at the Port Authority, and now he's working at BBC, and I want to introduce him as my friend. And he's the man who's going to connect the top to the bottom and the bottom to the middle. Benji, come forward.
PDM is the party, fighting for everybody. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. For economic growth. PDM have our vote. It's no secret. PDM has the best candidates. Good governance, accountability, strong leadership and transparency. PDM is the party, fighting for everybody.
Good night, St. Peter's. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eustace Osborne. Most of you know me as Benji. I come from the communities of Kojohead and Woodlands. I am here tonight to express my commitment to my people and my country. As a fellow citizen and an ordinary man, I am here to speak and to represent the ordinary man and woman who of this country, who are the backbones of our nation. Just as my friend Naota said a while ago, my late uncle Benjamin Chalmers used to say, let the good times roll. And I can say, we are going to let the good times roll in Montserrat again. I'm going to speak to you on an issue which is like a sore. What's on your mind? Your imagination is what is in your mind. And that program offers that program my friend, take it easy. Yes, the What's on Your Mind program is a community program which on that platform, it allows individuals to voice their opinion on matters of concern. And even so, to appreciate the good works of our people in this country. So what's on your mind doesn't always criticize the bad, but it always tell the people when they do things that are good. We elected 5 honorable ministers to represent and to negotiate on our behalf. Our honorable leader, who boasts that he has over 15 years political experience, and his other team has another 27 years of experience. And they just could not say, yes, put the program back on. But I'm here tonight to tell you that the PDM party is going to reinstate and put back the What's on Your Mind program back on our local radio station, ZGB. Without a doubt. I'm going to talk about our security at the airport. The airport security is an issue. The John Alfred Airport, we are the only people in this region that does not have a 24-hour security. The security is for the main reason to protect lives and also the property of Montserrat, which is the airplane and the airport. And terrorism, we are of the illusion that terrorism cannot come to our shores. But just recently in Bermuda, on the 6th of May, they had to evacuate a flight that was bound for England because of a bomb threat. I am saying we do not want this thing on our shores. And with the involvement of the United Kingdom, who's been involved in the Middle East in all sorts of different affairs, we have to stay vigilant. And I can say that the leader and this PDM party will be positive in securing the 24-hour security at the airport. I'm going to talk about the border. Our borders needs to be secured. Just recently, we had a number of people dropped off on our shores. And they went into our community, and the police had problems in allocating these people. Finding them was a problem. We need to implement and to strengthen our borders so that people just don't come in and go into our community as they feel it is okay. There's a system in place where you have to go through customs and immigration. If you need to seek asylum or whatever, you need to follow the correct procedures. I am saying that PDM will put the necessary plans in place and implement the policies to make sure that we, the people, are safe in this country. So I am asking you, and I'm begging you, on the 24th day of October, vote Eustace Osborne and the PDM team for change. Yes. The change that is so required. We need a change. Yes. If we don't get this change, I am telling you, we will suffer. And we will suffer big time. Thank you. And may God bless you.
PDM is the party, fighting for everybody. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. For economic growth. PDM have our vote. It's no secret. PDM has the best candidates. Good governance, accountability, strong leadership and transparency. PDM is the
Thank you very much, Eustace, Benji, Osborne. We've been given a timetable for tonight, and we're trying to stick to it because we want everybody to go back home. It's the middle of the week, and we're going to make it short and sweet. Hopefully, on Wednesday coming, on Saturday evening coming, is our next meeting in Salem, and we're hoping to have Kojo Head. Kojo Head. You're not asleep. You're not asleep. Kojo Head. Saturday coming, Kojo Head at 7 sharp. Our next speaker, you've heard him and what's on your mind. You have heard him speaking in the UK when our politicians went up there and met with the diaspora. He is definitely an activist. And everybody knows that he's concerned about the development of the country. And I'm going to invite to the podium my dear cousin, my friend, I consider him Mr. Alaric Lynch, called Ace.
Rastafari is the mighty. Ever live and never fear God. Ever sure. I'm these are made war with the land and I'm so because he's king of these arms that come in and jump Judah. Yeah, he's the origin of the Sabbath and the Sabbath is our own future. Hey yo. And now the people shall know that with Rastafari they shall no longer suffer. Love is all. The earth shall replenish for the better. And now the children shall be old. The glory and goodness Rastafari has to offer. Seek ye first the kingdom of Selassie and all you there. The whole world shall see.
Rastafari. Blessed, blessed good evening to one and all. Montserrat, St. Peter's, Caribbean diaspora, and you know my Caribbean, blessed, and you know we can't leave out our Caribbean brothers because we love you so much. We are one people in this one beautiful melting pot. Yes, good night again, people. It's wonderful to be here on this PDM platform. You know this is the team for the future. You know this is the team that will lead Montserrat into prosperity. But in everything, we hail the Almighty. So I'm going to say, you know, a little quick reverence. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadows of the Almighty. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But I delight is in the way of the Lord, and in that law do I meditate day and night. Good night, Montserrat. Good night, Montserrat. Good night, St. Peter's. And a blessed good night to my comrades. Well, Miss Mulcahy really did establish protocol, but I also want to say honorable respect to Mr. John Alfred Osborne, one of our real stalwarts in this country. And if anybody really knew Montserrat when Mr. Osborne was around, Montserrat was a very progressive place. Can't tell no lie. And on the whole Mr. Osborne and giving him that trophy. In terms of access, when all of these politicians, we talk about access. But I really have to commend Mr. Osborne again in having access as a leader, using his initiative and putting his what? His mouth where his money is. And had boats, which was a direct access to the outside world, because we could have traded things, we could have imported things. So these are the kind of initiative that the PDM government will support. Access on a private sector level, because we have to have our own cargo boats, people. We can't afford to always thinking about depending on someone. So, for instance, if that cargo boat from Antigua doesn't come to Montserrat, what happens to us? So this is what I'm saying. The mindset of us as a people has to change. We have to reflect to go forward. Let's start telling ourselves we had nothing. We still have everything that we had before. Because we have us, the people, first and foremost. And as I keep telling you, out of our creative mind, we will create a beautiful Montserrat that we want to see again. But respect to Mr. Osborne, and I won't really dwell too long. But one of my topics tonight is about the fisherman, and as again, Mr. Osborne is the fisherman. And I just want to pay a respect to our brother that went missing the other day. I wish everybody can just even give him a 15 minutes of silence out of respect. People, pay attention. I'm just asking you for your honorable respect for the brother John Lee that lost his life at sea or went missing, and it's very sad for us as a community when we lose a soul. So let's give the brother even a 15 minutes of silence, please. 15 seconds, blessed manners. I stand corrected. Yeah, give thanks. Blessing. Yeah, what I really want to say here tonight about fishing, really and truly, as I emphasize on agriculture, we have to also emphasize on fishing. And we know the fisherman never has enough fish for the people of Montserrat. And you could see, we are a very small community. But Montserrat is a part of CARICOM. And in reality, we really need to find new ways and new methods in terms of encouraging younger fishers to keep the culture alive and to keep the self-sustainability of Montserrat moving forward. I feel that the fisherman doesn't really get enough support from the government of Montserrat. And being observant, and we're looking at the cost of living, yeah? And we don't control gas prices. Gas prices is something that fluctuates. So what we need to do as a government, and what we, the PDM government, is going to do when we get into government, is find a subsidy for the fishermen in terms of gas. Either we give them a voucher, or we build a small enough fishing gas tank to facilitate our boat fishers in Montserrat. Because we cannot afford to be paying $15, $12, and $13 a pound for fish because the fact of gas inflation and there is no stability in the gas prices. So government really has to step down and push the initiative by putting, as I said, vouchers in place or building a storage tank, still giving the fisherman a reduced price of the gas, because government really and truly, if we really listen, the government is not really losing on the gas. They're actually making a profit on the gas. You understand? So if they're making a profit on the gas, and you really have people in mind, and you have a love for the people, and you know fishermen, and food is of importance, because we want to be eating healthy in this time, people. You understand? It is very important, because we could see the death rates, you know. We could see the fatalities from all kind of communicable diseases because of the bad eating that we are doing, the bad eating practices. So I'm saying this PDM government will put a voucher in place and put things in place that will directly reduce fuel costs for the fisherman. So when the fisherman comes in with his catch, he will sell his fish at even $10 a pound, which is a set price that all of us can survive. Another thing about our fishers, that is a serious thing that we have to take note. And the fishermen, they could actually answer for that. And I have done my research. It is only one insurance agency in this country that technically gives insurance or offers insurance to our fishers. But it is not an easy process because the criteria alone to meet this insurance, you understand? So it is very difficult for our fishermen to insure their boat. And that is not something good because if fishing is your livelihood and a boat is your craft, what happens if your boat gets damaged at sea? Or even damaged right there in the boatyard if we have a hurricane? What is it that the government has in place to help secure a fisherman in regaining or replacing or fixing his damaged craft if it is even damaged? Nothing. This is not a government that concerned about people, but the PDM government will change all of this when we get into government. We don't just talk people first. We are going to show you that the people are our concern. The people plights are my fight, my people. It's been 20 years and more I have been out there advocating for you. And I am not going to stop advocating regardless if you empower me or not. I have showed you my commitment living in England or locally. I have used whatever platform or medium to always sensitize and educate you people of Montserrat. So when you see my honorable friend Benji said that the What's on Your Mind program will be back, this ain't no joke. Because this is the People Democratic Party. And when we say democratic, we are talking about freedom. We're talking about human rights. And that is what we're going to give unto the people because everybody have a right. We cannot be out here soliciting your vote. And when you empower us, we come around and talk about you don't have any rights to speak. What is that? That is disrespect to the people. You, the people, are the government. You are the one who put us here to represent you. And I want you to understand, likewise, not after you choose the PDM government, you sit idly by. No. No, well, of course, that is of right. But I am saying, all hands has to be on deck if we are going to move this country forward. People, you understand what I'm saying? United we stand, divided we fall. As the Honorable said, we're going to have to deal with it short and sweet is in the week. But I want to bring to another point to my closing, which is of very serious importance. And when the PDM government get into power, we shall make this legislation. You understand me, my people? Because let me tell you all something. Consumer rights is not a joke. Just like how you have labor rights. That's why we respect the Honorable Naota Mya fighting for the people's rights. So when we talk about consumer rights and the people having their money in their pocket and spending their money, we should be giving the people value for money. You understand me, my people? We have this. We are paying a lot of money in this country for food because we have an imported society because we are not producing enough. And that is what the PDM government is doing. We're going to increase agricultural production by 60%. You understand? And by increasing agricultural production, we can look for industrial growth. This is where you talk about industries. But not strain on the consumer bill that this PDM government will put in place. I am talking about holding the shopkeepers, the supermarkets, you understand, accountable by law. Stop taking the people of Montserrat for granted. And when I say stop taking the people of Montserrat for granted, because if we are consuming food that are expire, our lives and health is at risk. And we cannot afford to be losing any more people, even though death is inevitable. But prevention better than cure. That is why on the 24th of October, people, me don't want to, you know. We done give you the medication, not the vaccine. Because I not deal with vaccine, but we give you the medication, natural remedy So that when the 24th of October come, you do the right thing. You understand? But I know sweet the life, sweet the Monsat, so me nah lie. All right, sister. But under the PDM government, you will eat healthy because food will be there for us, the people, to eat. And not just food, cheaper food for you to consume, and healthy food and organic food. So I am telling you tonight, people, my comrades behind me, I want you to know they're competent, they're capable, and we're ready. And we're not a ship without a rudder, which is going to be tossing to and fro. We is a ship with engine, as I said last week, backup, and even or if we even brought down. That means this country can't stick under the PDM government. So come 2024, the 24th of October, I say all 9 for the PDM team. Vote Alaric Lynch. All 9. I thank you.
Thank you, Alaric Lynch, better known as this. One of the reasons why, one of the reasons why some of us objected to the design and decisions made for the seaport, the new seaport development, is because there's no real estate for fishermen. Real estate for fishermen. The fishermen we have lost in the past few years, we've lost probably 5 or more boats. And boats have disappeared from Little Bay with nets, engines, and other equipment that just sailed away because there's no safe harbor. Finally, the company decided finally to tell us in one of the last meetings that there will be no real estate for fishermen. And after spending $100 million, EC dollars, we will not have a safe harbor for fishermen. About last year, I think there was a fishing competition that was held last year early, I think it was, 2023. And when the catch was brought in, when the catch was brought in, no fish was available for anybody to buy after the competition. All the fish was sold before it reached in. One of the reasons why that is happening is simply because we don't have commercial vessels. Because, like Alaric says, nobody wants to insure a boat. Nobody wants to insure a boat that does not have a safe harbor. So, very good point, and we will develop that point some more. I'm going to invite to the podium our next speaker, Shirley Osborne, who has been the Speaker of the House. She has a local program under the ZJB. I'm going to invite to the podium, not Shirley. I'm going to invite the leader of the PDM party, Paul Lewis, the man who is going to lead us to victory on the 24th of October, 2024. Mr. Lewis, come forward.
Good night, my people. Good night, my people. You have heard a number of initiatives that will be implemented by the PDM to ease the burden on you, the people. There are some who are in the same competition, vying to get into power, that do not like the fact that we will be reducing taxes. That do not like the fact that we will give vouchers to assist the parents with the students going back to school. And that is what I wanted you to ask a question. Where the money come from? Listen now. Catch you in the trap, right? This PDM government will hold the British government accountable to its obligation, 1. And 2, this PDM government will implement its own initiatives to raise additional revenues. These initiatives will not include taxing you any further. Can you believe it? 1 of the 2. For many years, you would realize that Montserrat is very good at starting things. And then they flop and somebody else take them over and is very successful with them. Many years before some of you were born, Montserrat had over 365 offshore banks, 1 for every day of the year. But lo and behold, they got shut down because of lack of compliance. Then guess what? Bermuda, Cayman Islands, BVI, all British overseas territories, just like Montserrat. They decide to amend and come with new laws, new legislation, new regulations, new policies, and set up the legal framework to ensure that the offshore centers meet compliance and that they are ready for businesses. So you find presently in the Cayman Islands that 85% of the world's hedge funds is based in Cayman Islands. 15,000 mutual funds registered in Cayman Islands. That's another British overseas territory, just like Montserrat, only because they put in the work. And PDM, I am already in discussions with one of the key persons who set up the system in Cayman Islands, because we are serious to doing business differently and to raise revenue and to put money in the economy outside or in addition to what we get from the British government. We are serious. But you see, that's only one. You want to hear 2? The yacht industry. And Jermaine, where's Jermaine? Come up here, Jermaine. A bit about the yacht industry. 1 minute, Jermaine.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Right next door to us in Antigua, the super yacht industry yields 200 million Eastern Caribbean dollars from a $33 billion industry. 27 miles southwest, Montserrat. How much money do we gain from that industry? Not even 0.1%. 1% of 200 million. We are saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, that within 2 years, we will be generating at least 20% of that $200 million that Antigua benefits from the super yacht industry. You will see our waters flooded with super yachts. Tourists running across our shores.
1 minute up. 1 minute up. No, you should ask how. How? That's the question. How? Listen. If you want to hear the how, you listen. The how is, we mean business again. And we have at least 2 different sets of developers and investors already showing in keen interest in developing and running the yacht marina according to the town master plan in Little Bay. Real business we're into. Serious business. Serious business we're into. But we have a situation that A spoke about earlier when he talked about not having any safe harbor for the boats. This master plan was in place around 2009, somewhere around there. And everybody knew the master plan. And one previous government started off, well, they start building the lockers for the fishermen. Because they knew that the fishermen's safe harbor would be within the yacht marina, right where you had the piper spun. And whatever the reason, they got a rush of blood and decide to fill it up and deny the fishermen their safe harbor. But this PDM government will reverse that. And we will. We will build it back and dig it out and come again. Tell them I say so. Who don't like it, join me. That it will get done. So have no fear, Ace. The fishermen will have their safe harbor. The yachts will have their safe mooring. The ferry will have its safe mooring. The police launch will have its safe mooring. Right? And you know, as Jermaine just said, he said 20%. So even if we fall short by 10%, that is still $20 million. That is not any money that was raised off your backs. That is called initiatives. That is how we do it. Real talk. But you know something? That is just on the yacht side. I want to touch. When you vote in weaklings, and they can't stand up, all of us suffer. All of us suffer. You hear the quote about the IKO, and as he says what the IKO say from what the IKO did not say. Well, listen to me carefully. The IKO speak to mandatory visa when you have an instrument airport. Does Montserrat have an instrument airport? No. We fly by line of sight. We have no instrument airport. It means that the visa that is implemented is not mandatory, and if you had a government with any testicular fortitude, they will tell the governor, go to hell. Because it's not mandatory, it's optional. And when it's optional, that is where the government have the power. If it was mandatory, it would be a different case. Take that to the bank. And indeed, you want a third one. Special economic zone. Yes, a special economic zone. And that's a zone where the business laws and the trade laws would be different from the rest of the laws locally, because we intend to attract multi-million-dollar companies to set up here and operate here. To increase employment, to increase trade. so that we can bring in foreign exchange, so that we can create jobs that are well paid. So some of you could leave the civil service and apply for these jobs, that people, wherever they are, would leave and come to Montserrat. That is part of our population growth strategy. Take that to the bank. Only one problem with the bank. The bank has a lot of problems. I'm not sure if you can even take it to the bank. The bank have a lot of problems. And we have directors on the banks, but they still can't solve the problems. But they said they could solve the country. Jesus. Send down Percy. We cannot afford to talk about investors without fixing and ensuring that we confirm that we will have the corresponding banking and it will be there and serve us well. We can't talk about investors unless we solve the ATM issue. There's no way you cannot go to a bank and use your ATM card. It means the bank is operating in the Stone Age, Mr. Hickson. In the Stone Age. In the Stone Age. So we gotta fix this. And when you try to get payment from overseas, you just can't get it for days, for weeks. We gotta fix this, because if we're serious about creating an investment environment, we have to fix the banking system. There's no way you can operate without the banking system fixed. You understand? When you talk about young people doing business online, digital economy, they must get paid. How are they going to get paid if you don't have a financial structure for them to get paid? Come on, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. Right? A lot of work. Where is Honorable Don Romeo? Where is Honorable Don Romeo? How many of you said to me, you would build, but you can't have access to lands? How many of you told me you have lands that you're willing to sell, but you don't have the money to put in the roads and to put in the utilities? Well, this PDM government will foot the bill of the roads and utilities only if, under one condition, that you pass on the savings to the people that's buying the land. Take it over, Don. Take it over, Don.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, St. Peter's. The honorable leader put me on the spot. But let me tell you something. We're just beginning to warm up. Me not even warm yet. Trust me. He just spoke about lands. Do you know there are about 100 acres of land owned by government in Lookout? Of which at least 50%, 50 acres, can be used. It's sort of steep where you can build on it, owned by government of Montserrat. So we don't even have to go to nobody to make no deal for land. We have over 50 acres that can be used tomorrow. All we need is infrastructure. Money to put infrastructure in. Not that we divide up the land and you have to go pave the road and put in your lamp post. No, no, no. Just like Lookout was done. Put roads in place. Put electricity in place. The sanitation system in place so that the people don't have to carry that burden. We're relocating. It's a new country we're building. So we have land available. I want to say something else to you too. Do you know that the houses in Davy Hill that cost or worth $300,000 to $400,000, do you know what they're going to be worth in about 10, 15 years' time? $300,000 to $400,000 US dollars. Do you know the homes in this area that are worth $800,000 and $900,000 EC dollars, what they're going to be worth? Over $900,000 US dollars in a matter of 15 to 20 years. You watching me? Your house going to be worth more than $1 million.
eventually. US, we not about you see. There's an island of the United Kingdom called the Isles of Scilly. They have the most valuable property in the United Kingdom, as valuable as land and houses in London. That's how valuable it is. But they still get help with access. They still buy ferry for them, and it works. Did you hear me? So nobody gonna tell us we don't need help. No matter with those that we don't need FCDO and so nobody with them. And them suck off, you hear me? Sucked all the money out of MDC. You know that? They're telling us we don't need FCDO, but they're the ones who suck all the money out of MDC. MDC never brought one investor to Montserrat. Do you know that? Millions and millions of dollars. A man earning 30,000 EC dollars tax-free. Where you come from? Where you come from? FCDO. And guess what? In Little Bay, they have over 150 to 200 acres of land owned by the government of Montserrat. Davy Hill Housing is part of it. Do you know how many villas, condos, apartments, business places can be set up in Little Bay? Owned by us. The big question is, who is going to own Montserrat? And Louis, you put me on the spot. I don't want to take much time, you know. Because me take your time last time. So come. Me take your time last time. You called me for that. Come. If you want me back, me come back. But me not take your time no more. Come.
Thank you. Let me hear it. So my people, you heard some of the initiatives. And you heard some of the solutions. I want you to come. Courtyard Saturday, whoever said it in here about the town, come Saturday, and I bet you that you will hear more about the town. Right? So make sure you come and hold me accountable. Right? I tell you, my people, I have to save some for Saturday. Right? So I have to tease you a bit. You ever been teased? I have to tease you a bit. So come out Saturday if you want to hear more from me.
Thank you. You notice that the government not saying nothing about electricity? You notice that nothing is being said about electricity? Electricity is still going. I know somebody that lost 2 televisions. I know somebody who lost a refrigerator. And I guarantee you, if What's on Your Mind was on, you would have heard of more people who have lost stuff. And hear what the government solution is to give you a duty-free concession. So tell me, where you going to find $4,000 from? Where you going to find $3,000 from for a new television? If even somebody gives you a duty-free concession. There's lots to talk about. I'm going to invite the most fabulous man in Montserrat to this, to come forward and speak to us. Mr. Jermaine Wade.
Election day, make the right choice. Vote Jermaine Wade and the People's Democratic Movement, PDM. On election day, who be voting Jermaine Wade? Who be voting Jermaine Wade? Who be voting Jermaine Wade?
Yes. Greetings, salutations. My good people, St. Peter's. All right. I want my people in St. Peter's to wake up. So those of you who are not here and are in your homes listening to me, I want you to wake up because I am here from St. Peter's, your son of the soil, to talk to you. My good people, it's a pleasure to be in my community speaking to you. And I want to tell you about some of the big plans that the PDM have. The Honorable Paul Lewis had laid out some of them. I am going to continue. But before I get into it, I want to say, last election, the people of St. Peter's voted overwhelmingly for Ajanda's party. You know what they call Ajanda's? Eh? Okay. You voted overwhelmingly, over 194 votes. The far majority of the votes in this community went to a gentleman in the MCAP party by the name of Mr. Crenson Buffon. He convinced the people of this community to give MCAP their votes. I'm asking you tonight, have you seen any representation in the St. Peter's community deserving of all the votes that you're giving them? Listen to me. I hear everybody referencing the late, great Dr. John Alfred Osborne. God bless his soul, he was a great man. And indeed, the good times did roll. I am going to tell you how the fabulous times will roll. But before I get into that, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the PDM team, St. Peter's people, listen carefully. We have on the PDM team six members of the party reside in this community of St. Peter's. The leader of this party resides in the community of St. Peter's. I am saying to you, St. Peter's people, when you go to vote, you have to remember the last time that this community has had proper representation in that of the late great Dr. John Alfred Osborne was when we had a leader of government from St. Peter's. Put Paul J. Lewis in government as the leader of this country. And St. Peter's people, he is supported by 5 other members from your community. I am saying to you, we will ensure that this community gets proper representation. That is a fact. Don't forget it. The next thing I want to say, you know, it bothered me because I know people go vexed now, but it bothers me because I believe when people put themselves forward for leadership, it must be demonstrated in their lifestyle. You must be perceived as a leader of your community. And I tell you, God rest my mother's soul. If she had died and left me a couple millions, I would give you the assurance, people of St. Peter's, that you would not have to leave St. Peter's, go Salem or go Braids, forget 1 little tin of milk, 1 pound of sugar. Can you imagine that? People of St. Peter's, no supermarket, no mini-mart, nothing that we can consume in this community of St. Peter's. Like a ghost town. Imagine if Fabulous had money. But I want to continue to say, ladies and gentlemen, the people of the People Democratic Movement expect me to be speaking tonight on some tourism initiatives the Honorable Lewis has started, and some population retention and growth. I am going to tell you how we're going to use tourism to continue bolstering this economy, to make our economy robust and resilient. The Honorable Lewis spoke to you about the super yacht industry, and he said to you, within 2 years' time, we will be pulling some $20 million out of that $200 million that Antigua generates from the industry. Money in your pockets. Believe you me, creating employment in hospitality, provisioning with farming produce, cleaners and maids, maintenance men, nightlife, entertainment. That is just one sector. I have told you in Salem, ladies and gentlemen, about education tourism. I said to you, we have done it before, and we are going to do it better We had some 400 students here in Montserrat that transformed the landscape of Montserrat and its economy. We are saying the British government has announced, I said it before, I'm putting it to your head again, has announced that they need some 5,000 medical doctors per annum, per year. We are saying all we want is 500 of that 5,000 resident in Montserrat training to become medical doctors. Can you imagine that? Let me give you some figures. 500 students at an average of 30,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars for economic costs. That's an average of $15 million new money in the economy. Initiatives. I am saying to you that we've spoken to you about residential tourism and how we're going to use that to revitalize the economy and create jobs instantly. Put monies in your pocket. You have heard Comrade Mulcair talk about the concessions that we will give to facilitate that program. But I want to tell you about a program tonight that must roll out, because this is my pet project. In 1998, under the infinite wisdom of the great, and he was a great chief minister, regardless to your opinion of him, under the great David S. Brandt, a program called the Economic Residency Program was rolled out. This program has proven success in all of the OTs. The last OT to implement it, revise it and implement it, was Anguilla. I am saying to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to learn from the mistakes of those countries. And we are going to make that program better for us, that it benefits you. What does this program do? It incrementally brings population to the country, but high-valued citizens, or residents rather. That program requires an upfront investment of about $150,000. If you can get an average of 5 to 10 at the bare minimum persons are taking that program, we are talking about $750,000 to $1.5 million dollars generated from this program at the very bare minimum. And we will use this fund because the other OTs, they use theirs for capital development, meaning to build buildings and pave roads and all these things. I am saying to you, as a PDM government, a people-first government, we are going to use the funds generated from that program to put people-first initiatives in place. Initiatives that benefit you, that alleviate the hardship that you face. So when we say, for example, that we are going to waive duties on all school supplies so that parents don't have to feel the strain, we are going to produce a hot meal for every student across the island. You don't have to say where we're going to get the money from. When we tell you that we are going to offer our young people, and we're going to talk about population retention now, when we say we're going to offer our young people, in fact, every citizen, a first car ownership duty-free concession initiative. Understand what I'm saying? Your first car that you import, duty-free. You don't have to understand where we're going to offset the money from. When we say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to waive property tax on your first land purchase and home ownership, you don't have to ask where we're going to get the money from. Because we are strong on social policies. We are a people-first government. And as a people-first government, we must put initiatives in place to alleviate the strain from your pocket. So, comrades, we have a lot of work to do. I want to tell you a little bit about this community, St. Peter's. And I want to say to the people of St. Peter's in the homes and on the cameras watching me, that when this PDM administration takes office, this community will be buzzing with economic activity. And I'm going to tell you how. We are surrounded by the most beautiful center hills, some of the best landscape across Eastern Caribbean. I am saying to you that we are going to focus on ecotourism. And through ecotourism, we are going to bring upwards of 9,000 visitors to this country. We are going to develop new hiking trails, biking trails. We are going to work with the tour operators to create bird watching excursions. that our national bird can go on display to people across the world and bring money for us here in Montserrat. I am saying to you that we are going to leverage the volcano that we have and increase visitor arrival for tourists, for the tourist attraction we have in Plymouth. And in doing so, I am saying to you, we anticipate 9,000 visitors specifically for ecotourism at an average spend of $1,000 per person. That is $9 million new money again in the economy. Work with me, people. I am also saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are going to focus a lot on sports tourism. I'm not going to talk too much about sports tourism, but I just want to tease you about it tonight. When we go Codred, I'm going to lay it out. But we are going to focus on sports tourism in this aspect. And I'm only going to touch one sector of it. Two of them, actually. We are going to focus on marine and water activities for sports tourism. I am saying to you that upon taking office, we will establish a public-private partnership arrangement to reintroduce the Montserrat Volcano Catch Regional Fishing Tournament. We will bring vessels from Guadeloupe, from St. Kitts Nevis, from Antigua, from St. Martin, to Montserrat shores on an annual basis for fishing tournament with their supporting cast and crew. It has happened before. I have done it single-handedly. So imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if I was to have the authority of the government. I am also saying to you that we will start the Montserrat Volcano Regatta. We will invite some of the best yachtsmen from around the world to have a race around our coastal waters, across to Redonda and back. That is big money business. Big money business. Bringing activity and revenue into the country. Comrades, I am saying to you that there are plans that we will unfold what I am going to term now Montserrat as the sports tournament hub of the Caribbean. When I say the sports tournament hub of the Caribbean, we are going to ensure that we build the facilities to first-class standard. And we will attract more basketball tournaments. We have done it. We have showed you that it can happen. We are going to attract more football tournaments. It has happened. You have seen it. Not talking hocus pocus. We are then going to bring volleyball tournaments to Montserrat. We are going to bring netball tournaments to Montserrat. We are going to bring motorsports to Montserrat. Hold on. Hold on. All of them want to take claims that them bring motorsports to Montserrat. All of a sudden, at them do everything. At them start this, at them start that. Well, let me tell them, I am here. And the whole of you know the truth. A lie? So I am saying to you, I will complete what has been started. And we will bring thousands of people to the shores of Montserrat for motorsports and other activities. I am saying to you, initiatives such as Mind Games. Listen to me. Sports is not just physical. Sports is mental. And I'm saying to you that we will create opportunities for our intellectual young people who are not so physical to participate in chess tournaments, worry tournaments, domino tournaments, and we will host them right here in Montserrat. I am saying to you, through initiatives such as that, we will bring upwards of 6,000 people to tournaments alone in Montserrat. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you must be saying, but how do I get you? We are going to fix the access issue. As a matter of fact, that plan alone is enough to justify the reinstatement of the ferry. Because you have to move large numbers. No plane can do that. So we'll put it back. So when we say we're going to put it back, we're going to put it back. We have a plan of how to make it happen. You see them rest, they can't do it. Because they're not going to brain. They got paper degree. Yes? They got more degree than the thermometers and they still look at the brain. Eh? Comrades, I'm saying to you that this country is full of potential. I am going to save some. There's a lot more. We will be on the radio tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And we will be in Kodgerhead Saturday at 7 p.m. There is a lot more initiatives, plenty of plans to move this country forward, to bring revenue into the country, to alleviate the strain from your pockets. And you hear plenty of them say, well, they're coming to help you. It is said, you cannot represent the underprivileged and the less fortunate unless you yourself have been underprivileged and less fortunate. Some of the richest people in Montserrat are one party. Some of the richest people in Montserrat are one party, and they say they're going to help poor people. They don't know about being poor. Not a Christ thing about being poor. They don't know your struggles. They cannot relate to what you're saying when they tell them you can't pay your light bill, you can't pay your water bill, your school child needs some money, you need money to pay a school fee, to buy your shoes for your child. They do not understand what that means. They don't. They cannot relate to your struggle. And I'm saying to you to reject them. Reject them. They cannot be a government of the people. And that is it. And so, comrades, I'm going to wrap it up. But I'm going to wrap it up by giving you some options. And I want to give you the options by telling you the story of Jim Jones. And the guy needs around? Where the guy needs them? All right. So, Jim Jones was a cult leader in Indiana who moved his cult to Guyana. And he called the area that they were staying Jonestown. Yes? Jim Jones bamboozled his congregation and his followers, just like a certain eyeglasses man with the most degree than the thermometer, bamboozled his supporters. Yes? And convinced supposed to be educated people to left them job, give up them citizenship, and all this ignorance to run with him. Jim Jones convinced them to do that. Jim Jones in Guyana led his people to a mass suicide. Over 900 people Jim Jones led to their death, to their pitfall. I am saying to you, the leader of that yellow party is a Jim Jones. And if you follow him, you will be led to your destruction. So you have that option. You have that option. Then you have the other option. The other option is Grandpa Jones. The other one is that Grandpa Jones. And Grandpa Jones led Jim Jones to the helm of a party. And then, how about you scientists? When Grandpa Jones lead Jim Jones to the helm of the party, Jim Jones said, but Grandpa Jones been really want to see you no more. You're too old. You can't do nothing for me. You can't tell me nothing. So you can go about your business. I don't want to hear nothing from you. And Grandpa Jones get up in their feelings. Grandpa Jones now go and start a new political party. Yes? Mark your Grandpa Jones left you in 2016 and say he tired. 7 years later, Grandpa Jones find some kind of vigor. Some kind of vigor. So he's no longer tired. He's no longer tired. And he have all the answers. So comrade, you have an option to vote for Jim Jones or Grandpa Jones. Now, Grandpa Jones is clearly running to be the president of Montserrat. And I'm going to tell you why. You are voting for a government, not a president. Grandpa Jones has formed a party where everybody on the team is a yes man to him. All of them are rookies to him. All of them are rookies to him. And I can tell you from experience, Grandpa Jones never rang, eh? Grandpa Jones never rang. So when Grandpa Jones say, I saw you go, yes, Grandpa Jones. When Grandpa Jones say, we not spend that, okay, Grandpa Jones, you know what you say. When Grandpa Jones say, we can't do this, we can't do that, not a soul will stand up to Grandpa Jones. Because Grandpa Jones is a law unto himself. And that will not be true representation of your vote. Because you are not voting for a president. You are not voting for a president. We are voting for government, a team of competent individuals.
Some people you're right, and them still choose to show you hate. Run them out of your yard. From them a play back yard. Hey, them a backbite.
Hold on, Hosan. Hold on, Hosan. And so finally, on the 24th of October, 2024, my good people, I am begging you, I am pleading with you, I am saying to you, do the right thing. Let common sense prevail. Let common sense prevail. I have been and experienced it. So me could tell you about them. It's one team, one dream, one mission. Team MCAP Alliance. Reject the two of them. Only team you're seeing is the PDM team, the People's Democratic Party. So vote. So on election night, election day, I'm asking you to vote for the People's Democratic Movement. Vote for Jermaine Wade. Remember, Wade again, and let the fabulous times roll. PDM.
Yes. I had to laugh, right? All right. Hello, everybody. We come in doing. I had to laugh. Because, hold on, man. Let me tell you something, right? My father, I don't think Inspector James or somebody, my father, nobody, I think in Montserrat, sold more shirt jacks than my father in Montserrat. And my father used to bring the shirt jack and them to our house. And listen to me never see one red one yet. Me never see one red shirt jack. Germany, where you get the one, man? Fabulous. He gonna come again, man. He gonna come again. One of the things that he said, listen, we're the party of the people. And I'm going to play something to you very quickly to tell you this. And you're not going to forget it.
Save something for the rainy day. And when the rainy day come, strap ball, go take them off and go use them.
Let me tell you something, right? This is the party of the people that understand the people. That rainy days have been going on for the last 5 years, that nobody saved nothing. I'm calling to the platform none other than ex-Speaker of the House, Shirley Osborne. She has a program on the radio, ZJB, and she's always speaking for Montserrat. Shirley, please come forward to speak.
one word you can use to describe Jermaine Wade is what? Unstoppable. You can't stop the man. I chose that song not just for me, but for Montserrat. Because that's what I know, that's what I feel about Montserrat. That's what I know that we can do. Those of you who don't come from St. Peter's, you would not know necessarily that where we stand up right now, this place here, is called Level. Everybody know that? Level. You know why? Because Fogarty Hill, if you fall down coming down Fogarty Hill, or you take a spin, take a skid coming down Fogarty Hill, you're unstoppable until you get to Level. Unstoppable for me is when you take off. That too. When you know where you're going, you decide where you want to go, you decide where you're going, you make up your mind, you find the people to go with you, you take off and you fly. And when you're confident and you're secure and you're sure and you have your people, nobody could stop you. Nobody could stop you. Nobody could stop you. And that is what we need Montserrat to be. Montserrat got kind of slowed down by Hurricane Hugo and then slowed down a little more by the volcano. Slow down. I will not stop. They can't stop Montserrat. They can't stop Montserrat. There's a man sitting over here who, the morning I broke my foot, and I figured I'm probably not going to walk again ever in my life. He picked me up and he carried me to the hospital. And now, Jim, I could walk. Unstoppable. Nobody could stop me. Nobody could stop me. Nobody could stop Montserrat, what Montserrat decide. So let me tell you something. I wasn't here last Saturday. You ready? I wasn't here well, last Saturday I was here, but we got the showers of blessings that rained down on us, remember? So we didn't have the rally. Thursday I was away, so I wasn't in Salem. I did my video, you heard me. Short and spicy. It was, yeah, I did it short and spicy because that's what we said we would do. I am here tonight. Good night, my lovely. Good night. Me see you. Me see you. Yeah, we see you. Me hear you. I am here tonight because it is important. It was important for me to be in St. Peter's. Because I went to St. Peter's school. I live in St. Peter's. I was born in Salem, but I live in St. Peter's. My father comes from St. Peter's. My mother comes from Salem. And yes. Somebody tell me that last week in Salem, on Thursday in Salem, when they played my video, somebody in the audience say, what is Shirley with this? My vision, my vision, my vision. There you go. Exactly. I had two things to say. I didn't make this up. I work with people to come up with this vision. What the vision say? We want a Montserrat that is self-reliant. Man, no depend on nobody. Prosperous. I got money in my pocket. And safe. Which means that I could still walk along a Kinsale by myself. I go out and run, I go trick out in mind, nobody touch me. I go sleep in my house with the door wide, nobody come touch me. That is Montserrat safe. We need to keep that, right? We are going to be a community of excellence, which means that when we step up, when we step out, nobody could even, they just have to watch how we pass. Feel the breeze. Because we do what we know what we're supposed to do, and we do it in excellence. That is the Montserrat that I know. We are going to be a country that is esteemed in the region. You remember, Montserrat used to be the standard. Everybody wanted to come to Montserrat. Everybody wanted to be in Montserrat. Montserrat was CARICOM, ECCB, OECS, everybody. Montserrat was John Hazard. Montserrat was Benji Chalmers. Montserrat was... We had people. We did work. We operated in excellence and we were esteemed. They thought a lot of Montserrat. And we're going to be renowned globally. They're going to know about us. Not just for the volcano. Not just because we are, quote unquote, British overseas dependent territory citizens, but because we are a little nation of people who not only have skills, but use them and use them well. And in order to use them well, what we need to know? We need to know where we use them for, where we are go. If you're building a house, you have to know who are going to live in the house. You design the house based on who are going to live, and then you just build your house. You leave once you want to go somewhere, You decide where you're going to go. You're going to New York, you're going to London, you're going to Johannesburg. You decide where you go, figure what clothes you're going to wear, how much ticket going to cost, who will go with you, what seat you're going to sit on the plane, what visa you need, and then you go. You know where you're going, you plan your way ahead. That is the vision. The vision is to go to South Africa, you do what you do. So the vision for Montserrat is that we are going to be a beautiful, beautiful little nation, self-reliant, not depend on nobody, safe, prosperous, a community of excellence, esteemed regionally and renowned globally. How are we going to do that? First of all, we need people. We need people. We need population. How are we going to do the population business? You have a government who is offering you a hospital, right? And the last I heard, the hospital had no dedicated pediatric facilities, no dedicated pediatric unit. How can we run a country without children? If you're not planning for children, if you're not planning to take care of children, you're not thinking about a country. I know they had asked for 2 rooms for delivery. As far as I understand, they're getting 1. Right now, we don't have a pediatric unit. So if your child gets sick, you're going to climb up there beside the big people and hope that you catch what they got. Right? That can't work. That can't work. All right? So we need, if we have a country to build, you need children growing up all the time, going to school, right? And so if children are doing what children are supposed to do, they're going to fall down, they're going to break something, they're going to get disease, they're going to get all kinds of, they're going to be going to the hospital. That is what children do. Me broke my foot. When me get old, me broke my house. 11 years old, me broke my hand. Children do stuff, right? So you want the country to have children. The international banking system is Paul talked about that, so that is in the works. That is one thing. But in international banking system, not going to make no sense to a lot of people. So we need our people. We need our people home. We need people to come visit. We need them to come and stay for 2 days, come and stay for 2 weeks. We need people to come and work. There are lots of Montserratians overseas who would gladly sign a 3-year contract to do what the TCs do and get the money that TCs get. But what happened? If you belong to Montserrat, you apply for the job, you don't get all the money that TCs get. How that make any sense? How that make any sense? So we have a bunch of people who are doing the work that we could do for ourselves and do better in many instances. But hey, now, in order for people to get here, whether it's our people or other people, what they need, what we need. One word, you begin with A. Access. I personally call it transportation because Montserrat's situation is such that there is really no way that right now access, either the ferry or the airplanes, could be financially lucrative for a private investor. It can't happen. I will not have the people either going or coming. So until we build the people, the population, what we need to do is find what? A stopgap, a band-aid for right now. The ferry and the Twin Otter, fine for right now. But that's what we're going to do? We had more than that 40 years ago. So we're going to stick with the ferry and just the Twin Otter, and we go backwards, and we're going to stick backwards. What do we want? I was coming in on Saturday. In the airport in Antigua, the 3 Lear planes were parked up. Let me give you a nice little note here. They were Embraer airplanes. Embraer is a company, it's a Brazilian company. There's a man in my life, or the man in my life, who was one of the lead engineers on the Embraer planes when they were building them 10, 15 years ago. Those are the planes that are in Antigua right now, Liat, that we want to come to Montserrat. Because when we say one people, so my Jamaican friend or my Guyanese friend come to Montserrat, want to go home, what are they going to do? Pick up the small plane, go to Antigua, wait in Trinidad, whatever. But if we have access to regional carriers, what happen? It makes it so much easier, not so? Yeah? Exactly. So much easier. You get to go back and forth. And not only will people be willing to come and stay, because they can move easily, they will come more often. So let me just touch one more thing. Julie, tell me when we done 7 minutes. Where be? Julie, tell me 7. There you go, my lovely. Thank you. Thank you. So we're talking about transportation and people coming and going. And if we want to make sure that it is easy, and we want to ensure that we are part of the Caribbean community, we need to be able to do what? Have our people, and when I say our people, I mean my Guyanese friend, my Haitian cousin, my Jamaican boyfriend, my, my Dominican godchild, I don't know. They need to be able to come and go easily. And the easiest thing to do is for Leah to come and go. Call it Leah, but the Caribbean, you can go, you don't have to. If I want to go to St. Kitts right now, what you have to do, Stasia? You have to go from here to Antigua. And if you want to go to St. Lucia, you go from here to Antigua to Barbados, spend overnight, then go to St. Lucia, and then come back, same thing. I could see Nevis from my house, like Sarah Palin said, I could see Nevis from my house. But exactly one whole day and $1,000 US something, so $1,000 something. So we don't want that anymore. So I will come to that, Stasia. I will come to that. So in order to have all of these, there's some other things that we need. If you want a community that's going to build, you want to have healthy people. Healthy people. A hospital is when you get sick. So what we need to do is focus on preventive health. Walk with me. Simon, walk with me, man, in time. Keep our heart to walk. Okay? As we get older, keep our heart working. Me no fall down because me walk. I fell because me run downhill and not pay attention. So you don't have to get injured just because you do. But if we take care of our health, you know what's going to happen? All the men, for example, the last few months, anybody take account of how many months that men lost their feet to diabetes? Think about it. Plenty, too many tall, dark, handsome men have been limping now because they lose their foot. And they lose that because their health is bad and because we don't get the right food to eat. So when Ace talked to you about organic food, listen. Because the fertilizers, the chemical fertilizers, the chemical weed killers, all them, they're not good for your body. They're just not good. And we have all this beautiful thing that Jermaine just talked about. You got some breadfruit up in the mountain, they buy sauce, got some breadfruit, big so. Organic. Them what we should eat. Keep healthy and well. So, let me leave you with this. We want a monster. In order to have the monster that we want, we need healthy people. So we need preventive health. One of the things we're going to ask Paul to do, when he's talking about roads, is build a sidewalk on the road. My mother, one of the reasons that I walk so much, come on, Buffy, thank you. I know you're red, so you're welcome, kind of, sort of. One of the reasons why I walk so much, because my mother used to take us walking. Then when she got to her 80s or so, she older, she couldn't walk on the street in the morning with the big trucks and so on going. But if she had a sidewalk that she could be safe, she would go, and our people would be healthier and live better. And we're glad to have our parents living longer, not so? All right. So, health, education. You heard Naota, you heard other people talk about education. We want to be educated, however, to do the kind of work that we know. I hear, waitresses and gardeners and so on. One of the things about those is that in many places, people think that when you do that kind of work, there's something kind of wrong with that. But in some other places, you get trained specifically to provide excellent service. If you're going to do if you're going to do tourism, if you're going to just invite people to your country, you have to treat them well. One of the ways of treating them well is customer service. Yes? You go in a hotel in China, you ring the bell, before you blink, the 14 floors up there, you do a bam, bam, bam. What do you want, ma'am? And before you blink, it's back again. And nobody feel like they're serving, right? So all of these things I want us to put together and just think. I'm going to leave you with this. We want a Montserrat that is as beautiful as it is now, that stays as safe as it is now, where our children can walk to school safely, because we want schools in the communities too, right? Our children can walk to school, because when we have 10, 15,000 people, we're going to have, maybe not St. Peter's School, but a school in St. Peter's, one in Salem, we're going to walk to school, we're going to eat mango and so on the way. And they are going to grow up healthy, well adjusted. Because one of the things that happens when children walk together from school is you learn to fight and you learn to deal with conflict, okay? You learn to handle yourself. You learn when to fight and when not to fight. You grow up when you spend time with people. One of the things that Paul talked to you about was the new town. One of the reasons why we need a town is because if you don't have a place where people can walk together and just bump into one and exchange information, you're missing all your culture. You're missing all kinds of stuff. I can't tell you. You all know. Think about the things that you learn just because you pass, you hear somebody say so. Or you walk down the street and you see somebody, you see something happen, right? You walking on the street, me meet you, and I walk and we get a beer, we get an ice cream, and we talk. When people come from England and America for Christmas and for Halloween and for St. Patrick's, you hardly ever see unless you go to Little Bay. But you remember, Sprocket, you remember what town was like, right? When Christmas comes, you have to walk down Parliament Street, go around by Shell, come down Strand Street, and you meet everybody who come a month after Christmas. Now they come and you don't see them. So we want our town centers. Thank you, darling, me done. We want our town centers. We want our village centers because we want our people to meet, to spend time together, to love one another, to learn about one another, to eat together. One last thing. As some Italian friends, and how they measure friendship, they will say, I have never eaten with the person. I have never eaten with the person. One of the things I want us to do to build this new Montserrat, start inviting ourselves into one another's lives. When we invited them in house for lunch, come, pass and say, Shirley, how you do? Invite me to your house for Sunday afternoon. Yeah? Me and everybody else around you. Tell them keep the church open so that me don't have to go to church only on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. Because what happened if 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, Paul tell me something and me no want to deal with him and I need a place to relax and clear my head. Me can't go see in the church because what church locked down? Church is a community. It's a community institution. We need them. So, we're going to have a country where we're going to love one another. We're going to be open to one another. We're going to be receptive to one another. We are going to all love one another and get along. Tell me yes. Tell me yes. Tell me yes, yes, I love you, 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 I love you. Thank you.
PDM is the party.
Oh, I got the mic still.
Everybody, vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. For economic growth. PDM have our vote. It's no
Thank you. This was, what is that? Lord have mercy. Well, that's one thing we're going to have to talk about. Lord have mercy. Problems all over. Here, we have reached the end of our meeting tonight. We got some of our speakers were short and some were long. And we're holding back some of our speech for Saturday night at 7 in Kojohead. I'm asking every one of you to come out. Bring a friend with you. We're going to have a good time in Kojohead on Saturday night at 7 p.m. I want to thank you all, PDM people, for coming out tonight. So next Saturday night at Kojohead, I'm expecting to see you. Have a good night. This Saturday night.
PDM is the party, fighting for everybody. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. For economic growth, PDM have our vote. It's no secret. PDM has the best candidates. Good governance, accountability, strong leadership and transparency. PDM is the party, fighting for everybody. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. PDM we voting, PDM we voting, PDM we voting, yes. PDM we voting, PDM we voting, PDM we voting, yes. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. We ready to vote. party of hope. Whether old or young, Montreal or carry come. Fix healthcare, education, access, tourism. PDM is your party, fighting for everybody. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. PDM we voting. PDM we voting. PDM we voting, yes. PDM we voting. PDM we voting. PDM we voting, yes. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. To fight inflation, we have the solution. Putting people first. Put money in the people's purse. Create employment, drive development, fix agriculture, sports and culture. PDM is your party, fighting for everybody. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. Vote PDM. Vote, vote, vote PDM. PDM, 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 PDM.